Alright, so at Kirsten, this is now the second part. I think we can finish the walkthrough within 15 minutes. Uh, let's try. Okay, so for this part, we'll start with the scenario wherein the first term does have a numerical coefficient that is not 1. So this is level up. Okay, mo level up na ta. So this is an example, 18a squared plus 30a minus 12. So the first term has a numerical coefficient is not 1. It's 18. Okay. And there's a sub scenario for this part. There would be examples or trinomials where the last term is a negative number. Okay, so in this example, the last term is negative 12, so it's a negative number. So we'll have some guide questions. So what is the numerical coefficient of the first term? Yes, it is 18. So let's identify the factor pairs. So what are the factor pairs of 18? So 118, 29, and 36. What is the number in the last term? Yes, it's negative 12. Is a number in the last term negative? Yes, it is. So then the last terms in the binomials or the binomial factors have different signs. One is negative and the other is positive. So again, if the number in the last term is negative, so ang katong second term sa binomial, dili pareha og sign. Ang usa positive, ang usa negative. And then another guide question, what are the factor pairs of the last term? So we will do factoring for the last term. So for the last term, 12, absolute value. Just consider the absolute value. So the absolute value of negative 12 is 12. So what are the factor pairs of 12? So we have 1, 12, 2 and 6, and 3 and 4. So let us be patient with this next step. So here's the manual part. Step 1, match the first term factor pair. Remember, we have a numerical coefficient of 18 for the first term. So we will identify the factor pair of 18. So let's nominate one pair. So that's 18, 1. And then for the last term factor, or last term factor pair, mapili ta either we will nominate 112 or are we gonna nominate 26 or 34. So let's start nominating 112 or 12, 1. And then have a one-on-one correspondence for each pair. So what do I mean by that? So for example, for the first term, 18, 1 is a factor pair. And for the second term, 12, 1. So pair 18 with 12 and then pair 1 with 1. So 1-to-1 correspondence or pairing. And then here, 18, 1. So ang technique in the pairing, just keep the first terms of the same order for each trial. So 18, 1 and then 18, 1. And then for the so for example, for the first trial here, 18 is paired with 12 and then 1 is paired with 1. For the second trial, balihon na nato ang kaning sa second term. So 12, 1 na ay trial na 112. And then we will going to multiply the pairing, okay, the matching, the one-on-one correspondent pairs. So 18 times 12 is 216. And then 1 times 1 is 1. And then and then find again the products of the one-on-one correspondent pair. So 18 times 1 is 18. And 1 times 12 is 12. Okay. Step 3, multiply. So we just did a while ago, right? multiply each one-on-one correspondence of each trial. So we have one-on-one correspondence pairs. So for trial 1, 18 and 12 is the one-on-one correspondence pair. So 18 times 12 is 216. And then we have also in the first trial, the 1 to 1, 1 and 1, this correspondence pair here. 1 times 1 is 1. And for the second trial, ato gibali ang 18 here will have a one-on-one correspondence pairing with 1. So, di ba, in the first trial, 18 is paired with 12. In the second trial, 18 is now paired with 1. Okay, and the first trial, 1 is paired with 1. In the second trial, 1 is now paired with 12. So, nawa, gibali lang 12, 1, ang order gibali. And then, diri sa first term, you keep as it is. And then we will um, uh, find the products. So 18 times 12 is 216 and 1 times 1 is 1. In the second trial, 18 times 1 is 18 and 1 times 12 is 12. So products. And yes, in this column, the first column in each trial will be for the outer terms, okay, of the binomial factors. And the second column of each trial will be the inner terms of the binomial factor. Remember the FOIL? Okay. Then step number 4, subtract the products of each trial. So here, 216 minus 1 for the first trial, and then in the second trial, 18 minus 12. So see, first trial, 216 minus 1 is 215. Second trial, 18 minus 12 is 6. So that is the difference. And yes, you will repeat steps 1 to 4 until we get the correct difference. Please consider the absolute value of the difference. Okay, the signs won't matter. Just get the absolute value. And there will be a guide question here. What is the numerical coefficient of the middle term? So yes, it is positive 30. Here, 30A. So positive 30. So our correct difference then is positive 30. So in the first trial is 215 and then second trial is 6. So we're done now, okay, with the matching of 18.1 with 12.1. So the next matching we're gonna do is pairing 18.1 with 2.6. Okay. And then, pag yun siya na nigawas, then pair 18.1 with 3 and 4. Pag siya nigawas, then manata sa 18.1. Ay nata sa 2.9. So, ang 2.9 i-pair with 1.12 i-match, and then 2.9 i-match with 2.6, 2.9 i-match with 3.4, wala pa jud ang target difference. Then 3.6 for the first term, i-match na to with 1.12 for the second term. Or 3.6 for the first terms, i-match na to with 2.6 for the second terms. And finally, 3.6 for the first term, i-match na to with 3.4 for the second term. Yes. Okay, so ini mo take time or at least organize na siya. There's the matching of the factor pairs of the first term. I-match na to with the factor pairs for the second term. Okay. So I'll present now the successful trial. So yes, it will be the factor pair 18.1 for the first term. And for the second term, the factor pair that I need to use is 6, 2 or 2, 6. So we will going now to write, okay, 118 or 18, 1. And then we will have two trials. Bali-baliho na to ang second term. Okay, so for the first trial, 1 is paired with 2 for the 1 and 1 correspondence, and then 18 is paired with 6 for the 1 and 1 correspondence. For the successful trial, actually, 1 is paired with 6, and then 18 is paired with 2. Okay, so why? Because 1 times 2, for the trial A here, 1 times 2 is 2, and then 18 times 6 is 108. Yeah, 108 minus 2 is 106. Okay, so sa successful trial, 1 times 6 is 6, and then 18 times 2 is 36. So 36 minus 6 is 30. Diba? So we got the coefficient of the middle term. So next step now, once we have identified the factor pair for the first term and the factor pair for the second terms, we will now going to identify the signs, the correct sign for the second term. Remember, one is positive and the other one is negative. So, unsa man ang positive? Ang 6 or ang 2? Unsa man ang negative? Ang 2 or 6? So, we will have two trials. So, nindot niya, iuna na to ang bigger number. Okay, so, diri 118. So, I will suggest 18, 1 na lang. Okay, so, 18, 1 and then 18, 1. So, i-keep lang yun ang sa first term as it is. Ang atong usbon-usbon na, okay, is the sa second term. Again, no, ang nidaog kay ang 18 i-pair sa 2 and then 1 i-pair sa 6. So, ato lang gi usap-usap ang signs. So, in trial 1 here, ang 2 ang negative and then 6 ang positive. Sa trial 2, 2 is positive and 6 is negative. So usbon mo and then multiply. 18 times negative 2 is negative 36. 1 times 6 is 6. And then 18 times 2 is 36. 1 times negative 6 is negative 6. And then we add na. Okay, wala absolute value. We add good. Follow the signs na good na. Okay, so negative 36 plus 6 is negative 30. But negative 36 minus 6 is 30. So we got the target sum because 30 is the numerical coefficient of the middle term. So please identify again the outer pair and the inner pair. So pwede, ang atong outer pair is ang dako nga number nindot na siya i-outer. Okay, so sa first term ba kani 18 and 1, di ba, sa first term man is sa binomials, so mas nindot nga i-outer na to ang dako nga number. So muna nga for the outer pair 18, di ba, 18 is paired with 2, yeah. And then for the inner pair, 1 is paired with negative 6. Okay, so makita to sa visuals here, 18 is paired with 2, and 1 is paired with negative 6. This is the successful trial, outer and then inner. Okay, so let's pause. All right, we've reached the 14-minute mark. Okay, naagid tayo part 3, ate. Okay. All right, so thank you for the patience, ate.